So right after the game, the gym was transformed into a chapel. So coaches Steve Cassidy and Althea Penn could become husband and wife.
We wish them well. That was Karen Kornacki of KMBC TV reporting from Kansas City. Coming up on Good Morning America, the star of 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler. Should be good for some laughs. I'm David Muir. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow morning.
For the latest video highlights, log on to America Online, keyword ABC News.
You're watching ABC.
Overnight, the release of the President's National Guard dental records. Did they prove he fulfilled his duty? Plus a clash of the corporate titans as a cable giant tries to take over Disney. Can Mickey and Minnie be bought? And Lacey Peterson's mother blasts the controversial new TV movie about her daughter's murder. And Good Morning America. Nice to have you with us on this Thursday morning. I'm Charles Gibson.
Thursday, February 12th it is, 2004. I'm Diane Sawyer. Welcome. Good to have you.
We're going to have all the stories that we mentioned there in the headlines. And there's a lot of other stuff going on that I think people are going to be talking about. There's this picture that has surfaced. I wonder if it'll become a political issue, of John Kerry sitting near Jane Fonda at an anti-Vietnam War rally in 1970. We'll get into that. Also, the New York Times is reporting this morning that Michael Jackson is on the brink of bankruptcy, sapping his last reserves. Also reporting that there's a $70 million loan that he's taken out. $70 million loan. Where do you get credit like that? Anyway, the loan due Tuesday, they say, and Jackson has no way to repay it. So we'll get into all that ahead.
Also, a school bus beating caught on tape. 36 punches to a Florida 12-year-old. Where was the bus driver? And what about the cheering kids? You're going to hear from the young boy who was at the center of this coming up.
Also a story that we've heard before, but it's so sad. Dear Abby, the woman who writes the Dear Abby column, now suffering the ravages of Alzheimer's. And in a Good Morning America exclusive, her son will be here to talk about his mother's battle against time.
We also have those audio tapes released in the Martha Stewart trial, said to be damning, and we'll bring you a full report, analyze those. And on a lighter note, we continue Romance Week here in Valentine's Square with marriage proposals. Romance Roulette, Emeril Lagasse's famous Valentine's Day dessert if you want love. Later on this morning, we've got it here. But first, Robert
Love
Roberts.
And calories, I should say, too.
That's right,
Let's go to Robert.
All right, Charlie and Diane, thank you. And good morning, everyone. Broadcasters are facing growing pressure from the public and Congress about indecency on television. FCC Chairman Michael Powell testified on Capitol Hill that more than 200,000 complaints came in after the Super Bowl halftime show. Powell called it a new low for primetime television.
It is just the latest example, and what we've noted is a growing list of deplorable incidents on the nation's airwaves, and the increasing concern about coarseness has resulted in a dramatic rise in public concern.
The White House has taken another step to try to prove President Bush fulfilled his National Guard duties during the Vietnam War. Last night, the White House released records of a dental exam Mr. Bush had at an Alabama National Guard base in January 1973. Some Democrats have questioned if he was there at that time. And this morning, a photo has surfaced showing Democratic presidential frontrunner John Kerry and actress Jane Fonda at an anti-war event in 1970. Kerry was a leader in the anti-war movement after his service in Vietnam, while Fonda is notorious among Vietnam vets for visiting Hanoi. Fonda says they had little or no contact that day. For the first time in the Martha Stewart trial, jurors have heard from one of the defendants. It was an audio tape of Stewart's broker, Peter Bukanovic, that prosecutors say pokes holes in both their stories. Here's ABC's Chris Cuomo.
The prosecution played audio recordings from Bukanovic's interview with the Securities and Exchange Commission, recordings that they say catch Bukanovic in a lie. Sounding calm and confident, he denied ever giving Stewart an insider tip to sell her nearly 4,000 shares of ImClone stock in December 2001. Instead, the Merrill Lynch broker insisted he and Stewart had a prearranged deal to sell the stock if shares fell below $60.
She didn't really have a price. I said, well, listen, what will you settle for? How low does this have to go before you're prepared to part with this? She said, I don't know. I said, well, how about $60 a share? Does that sound reasonable? And the conversation was something like that. She said, yeah, sure, $60.
Last week, Bukanovic's assistant, Doug Fanuel, testified Stewart sold her stock only because she'd received an inside tip that ImClone founder Sam Waxel and his family were desperate to sell their shares. Fanuel says his boss and Stewart later cooked up the prearrangement story to cover up the tip-off. Bukanovic admits he left a message for Stewart the day she sold Imclone. But Bukanovic said he only did so out of professional courtesy to his famous client.
Chris Cuomo, ABC News, New York.
Researchers in South Korea have cloned a human embryo and extracted stem cells from it. They say the research is not designed to clone babies, but to create medicine. Many scientists believe cloned cells could lead to cures for diseases like diabetes and Parkinson's. Well, Senator Hillary Clinton has been called many things, but Men's Journal magazine has a new one, Tough Guy. That's right, Mrs. Clinton is number 25 on the list of the toughest guys in America. It's the first time a woman has been on the list, and the magazine's editor insists it is a compliment. That's the first look at the news, 7:05. Charlie and Diane.
I'm imagining petitions in the street. We want to be the tough guy. That guy's the tough guy.
I guess it's a compliment. I don't know.
Tony Perkins.
Got the weather?
I don't think so.
I don't look at it that way either.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, no, I think it's meant to say that, you know, she can hold up, she can stand up.
All right. We'll battle over that later.
Robin's agreeing over
Tough guy.
Well, you're going to have to be a tough guy today if you're living in the Southeast. How about that for a segue? Thank you very much.
Not very good, but okay.
Well, it's early in the morning. Take a look at the map. Here's the radar. This morning, we've got a little bit of rain. We've got a little bit of snow. Here we go. This is really from Louisiana to portions of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia. Alabama, northern Georgia, and the Carolinas are getting the bulk of the morning precipitation. 2 to 4 inches of snow will fall along the northern edge of this storm, and really that 4-inch amount will mainly be in the mountain regions. The morning is bringing rain and storms to the Gulf Coast states. We could see some river flooding as a result of this. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation now. Here's what's happening in your neighborhood. All right, thank you very much. More weather coming up shortly. Diane.
All right, now to the battle that is joined that fierce debate in Massachusetts over gay marriage, sending shockwaves across the country all the way to Washington, which is where senior national correspondent Claire Shipman joins us this morning. Claire, good morning.
Good morning, Diane. Well, the debate raging in Massachusetts is foreshadowing what will clearly be one of the most divisive issues this election year. Should gay marriage be legal? In Massachusetts, the highest court had said yes. Lawmakers said, wait a minute. Now, they didn't pass any legislation last night, but this incredibly dramatic battle will continue today.
What do we want? Equal rights. When do we want it? Now.
On the streets, in the legislature, the debate played out late into the night as lawmakers tried to strike down the decision by the state's highest court to allow gay marriage. And those same arguments are now taking hold on airwaves across the nation. Polls show voters confused and divided on the issue.
First of all, I'm against same-sex marriage. Basically, what they're asking for is equal protection under the law.
Democratic frontrunner John Kerry and President Bush are now scrambling to define their positions.
The president believes very strongly that marriage is a sacred institution.
Advisors say President Bush is ready to campaign on this cultural issue and is now considering backing a proposed constitutional amendment that would define marriage as a union between a man and a woman. Bush hinted at his position in a year-end interview with Diane Sawyer.
If necessary, I will support a constitutional amendment which would honor marriage between a man and a woman, codify that.
But Bush would still support civil unions. Civil unions, which Vermont has already adopted, are intended to give gays the same rights without the symbolism of marriage. Kerry's position has been guarded about the ruckus in his home state.
Our people are looking and evaluating as to whether or not it has any impact on civil union or on partnership rights or other rights.
Over the years, he has supported civil unions and opposed same-sex marriage like the president. But unlike Bush, he does not support amendments banning gay marriage.
I now pronounce you domestic partners.
Now, 4 states have already changed their constitutions to ban gay marriage. 16 states are debating it right now. If the president decides to back a constitutional amendment, the issue will face a national referendum of sorts on the campaign trail. Diane?
All right, Claire, thanks to you. The debate goes on. Charlie?
All right, another story that we mentioned at the top of the show, Diane. There is an epic corporate showdown underway this morning. America's largest cable TV provider, Comcast, wants to take over Disney, which is ABC's parent company. Disney is one of the best-known brand names, of course, on the planet. But if this came to pass, what would it mean for Mickey and to the Disney theme parks, which are among the top tourist destinations in the world? Well, ABC's Betsy Stark is here to help us figure it all out. Betsy.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning. Well, since Mickey Mouse burst on the scene 75 years ago, Disney has grown into a cultural touchstone and a marketing juggernaut. Tens of billions of dollars are generated each year by a magic kingdom that includes theme parks, ABC and ESPN TV properties, movies, and toys. But cable giant Comcast thinks Disney is due for a shakeup. It's a $66 billion clash of the titans. The cable TV giant Comcast says it wants to merge with entertainment icon Disney to create the world's biggest media company. But Disney's longtime leader, Michael Eisner, rejected Comcast's offer to talk merger. So now Comcast is trying to go around him, appealing directly to shareholders in a battle that could turn tough. The strongest salvo was fired by Comcast executive Stephen Burke.
If you look at the ABC network and owned stations, ABC is a weak number 4.
He worked at Disney for years, but didn't hesitate to criticize some of its crown jewels in a press conference.
The type of movies that were made by Disney just 10 or even 5 years ago were fantastic. Since about 1999, the Disney animated studios have not produced the kind of quality product.
Comcast promises it can do better with one of the world's best-known brands and says its 21 million cable subscribers are the perfect audience for Disney's treasure trove, as they call it. Everything from classic animation to Miramax movies to ABC TV and ESPN Sports. Yesterday, Eisner defended his management and reported that Disney's earnings this quarter are better than expected.
We're on the road to recovery. We're doing well. You saw.
Still, Eisner is now obliged to consider Comcast's offer. Comcast says its great strength will be moving Disney into the future with technologies like video on demand and new internet applications. But Comcast also claims to have new ideas for sparking Disney's legendary creativity, Charlie.
All right, Betsy, stay with us now, because joining us along with Betsy Stark is Tom Woolzine, who is a well-known media financial analyst who's down in Orlando, where he's actually been meeting with some top-level Disney officials. Tom, good to have you with us. I'm curious about 3 words that Betsy used in her piece. She said this could turn tough. How hostile is this takeover attempt? Because some of the Comcast executives were not too subtle yesterday in their news conference in criticizing the way Disney executives are running the company.
It's already turned tough, Charlie. They lobbed an offer over the Disney wall yesterday with a lot of criticism of how Disney has been running its operations for the last couple of years. And really now Disney says, hey, we'll look at the offer, as they have to do, as their board has to do. But kind of the ball's back in the Comcast court now to see if they sweeten the offer to make the Disney board pay a little bit more attention.
Well, that's an interesting point, because Comcast offered this gets technical in numbers, Betsy, but they offered $26.49 a share, and yet the Disney stock yesterday went up to $27.60. So Disney stock is already worth more than Comcast has offered. Is Comcast willing to up the ante, and is this going to get to be a sort of an escalating thing?
I think so. I mean, I think that was the opening bid. These kinds of deals often take months to play out. I mean, you can think of it as a great corporate chess match, and I think Brian Roberts, the CEO of Comcast, is known to be a savvy deal maker. He's not going to pay any price for Disney, but I think he knows he's going to have to pay more.
Now, Tom, is the timing here accidental? I mean, it has been well publicized that there is controversy over Disney. Roy Disney, Walt's nephew, is highly critical of the present management. So did Comcast step in here thinking that perhaps this was a vulnerable time for Disney?
Well, probably because it's a vulnerable time for Disney, also because Comcast has just finished doing a good job of swallowing the AT&T cable systems, and its cash flow is turning positive. So Comcast is now, for the first time, in the position that it actually can look toward Disney. So it's really the convergence of 2 things: the difficult performance of Disney over the last couple of years, coupled with money that's now sitting in Comcast's pocket.
But did they think perhaps they could get Disney a little cheaper, given the fact that that there is this controversy going on?
Well, it's kind of ironic. If Disney is actually on recovery, then the price of Disney would keep going up. So in a way, Comcast's decision to go after it now indicates that they think it's an opportune time. Disney did a very nice job over this last quarter, they reported yesterday, with record numbers thanks to Pirates of the Caribbean and Finding Nemo, both going into home video. So Disney's clearly on its way back. The question is how fast it's going to come back.
Just very quickly, Betsy, is it a good marriage? Comcast is a distributor. Disney is a producer of material. Is it a good marriage to put these two companies together?
That marriage of content and distribution is one that can be a very good fit, but it hasn't always worked out in the future.
It was a disaster in
AOL Time Warner. Exactly,
yeah.
Charlie.
So we just don't know. All right, Betsy Stark, thanks very much. And Tom Wolzine, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
We're going to switch now to the recruitment of young terrorists around the world. And word this morning of a shocking new rap video, which is making the rounds on the internet. It is the work of Islamic extremists, contains frightening attacks on America. But the U.S. is about to unveil its own propaganda counterattack. And ABC's Richard Gisbert reports from London about both.
Lot of mercy. Well,
is it a rap video or a hate crime? Brandishing a gun and a copy of the Quran, hiding behind a mask, a rapper called Sheikh Terra sings a song called Dirty Non-Believer. He urges Muslims to throw George Bush and Tony Blair into the fire in a holy war. This is believed to be the work of al-Qaeda sympathizers, not necessarily the group itself. There are ugly images, a jihad fighter in Chechnya murdering a Russian soldier, and ugly sounds, laughter over the collapsing Twin Towers.
If you look at even bin Laden's recruiting videotapes, they're fairly crude by modern Western standards. This one isn't. This one is slick, powerfully produced, which makes it all the more disturbing.
And easily accessible, posted on a website run by Saudi dissidents. This is a propaganda tool that relies on rap culture and the internet. The irony or contradiction is that rap and the net are the kinds of modern American inventions that fundamentalist groups like al-Qaeda are supposed to be fighting against.
It is an answer to the American propaganda. They would like to say, look, we can use the same language you are using, we can use the same musics.
The newest U.S. offensive in the propaganda war goes on air this weekend. The Al Hurrah TV network will beam into the Arab world from Virginia. The U.S. often complains about Al Jazeera and other Arab networks. At a cost of more than $100 million this year, Al Hurrah is a new alternative.
A voice for moderates in the region, a fresh perspective about the region.
Ever since 9/11, the U.S. has said this is a different kind of war. The Al Hurrahs, the Sheikh Terras, are just the newest weapons in the battle for the hearts and minds of young Muslims. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, London.
One other story to mention this half hour, the brutal beating of a 7th grade boy on a school bus in Jacksonville, Florida last week. It was caught on tape by a surveillance camera just recently installed. And Bill Ritter of our New York affiliate, WABC, has a report.
Right away, you can feel the tension on the bus. Watch the boy in the middle. He takes off his sweatshirt and then approaches 12-year-old Simone Small. He's seated on the bottom left of the screen. There is some taunting and then the assault. A barrage of punches. Now, I've watched this tape several times. I count at least 36 by the main instigator. Several other boys are punching him as well. Other kids are just watching and laughing. All the while, little Simone sitting there trying not to cry. But now, nearly a week after that attack, Simone can no longer hold back the tears.
I have migraines, so it felt like I was about to pass out or something. And it was painful.
The attack was captured on a camera that was recently installed after several other incidents of student violence on the bus. Tonight, school administrators promising to take action.
I was absolutely appalled, and I wanted you to know, too, I just got off the phone with the superintendent, and he was outraged over this.
The attackers have been transferred to other schools, and now so has Simone. He was afraid of returning, afraid the beating would happen again.
Our thanks to Bill Ritter. What a beautiful little boy.
And the bus driver's on administrative leave without pay.
Without pay.
We've got a picture of the morning, a courtship that ends on the court, literally. basketball court. It's in Kansas City, Missouri. Two girls, high school basketball coaches Steve Cassidy and Aletha Penn, are on opposite sides of the gym as their teams play against each other, and then right after the game, walk in and take their vows. They tie the knot just inside the three-point line. They had met at basketball camp, and their proposal took place during practice. They pledged love, for better or worse, through winning seasons and losing seasons. And by the way, his team won.
Right. I'm glad you got that in there.
65-60, so it wasn't a rout anyway. I wonder, well, that's her first losing season to get through here, but she took it in good style. Anyway, still ahead, we've got the controversial new TV movie about Laci Peterson's murder, starring a Scott Peterson look-alike. Laci's mother outraged. Will the movie affect the trial? More on all this coming up.
I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson, I have to ask this.
A man who faces any danger, rolling prices back for friend and stranger. He's the rollback man. He's the rollback man. He's changing all those numbers. Lower prices are his game.
Our rollback mission to save you even more. Walmart, always low prices, always.
I just want to feel clear. Wide open. I want to re-enter the world.
I just want the pressure to leave.
I want to feel like myself again.
I want my head back.
Introducing new Tylenol Sinus Severe Congestion.
I was stuck. Now I'm unstuck.
It relieves congestion, pressure, and has Tylenol for pain, so it relieves more symptoms than even the leading sinus prescription.
I'm back in the land of the living.
No more singing the blues.
New Tylenol Sinus Severe Congestion.
Gone. How are you cutting carbs?
Last night I had beef with a side of beef.
I licked the butter off a piece of toast.
I ate my weight in Gouda. I had grilled chicken in a creamy 3-cheese sauce with crisp broccoli and red peppers. It was one of those new dinners from Lean Cuisine. And only 13 grams of carbs.
Cutting carbs just got easier. It's not just lean, it's cuisine.
Nothing says romance like flowers, candy, and of course, expensive perfume.
Sorry, that should come with a warning label.
The Lion King 1.5. Feel the love. Now on Disney DVD and video.
Experts are saying it's one of the worst flu seasons in recent memory, which is one of the best reasons to drink Florida orange juice. It provides essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin C that your body's immune system needs. Plus, your kids will want to take it. Florida orange juice.
Still ahead, Adam Sandler will be along. I always feel I take my life in my hands when I interview him, but we love having him, and he has a surprise guest with him coming up.
Also, we mentioned the woman who writes Dear Abby, struggling now with Alzheimer's, and we will hear a little bit later from Dear Abby's son. That's all coming up after your local news and weather. Stay with us.
I don't want her to be labeled.
He's just like I was in school.
It's just a phase. He'll get over it.
Millions of kids have learning difficulties and are struggling in school. But instead of excuses, they need help. They learn differently. See how far your child can go. Visit focusonlearning.org. Do it for your child. Do it for yourself. But do it now.
Families in Florida prepare themselves for the hurricane season. Families in California prepare themselves for earthquakes. Every family in America should prepare itself for a terrorist attack. And quite frankly, things are very simple. An emergency supply kit, a communication plan. You can learn how to do them on our website. You can get a brochure. Terrorism forces us to make a choice. We can be afraid, or we can be ready.
On September 11th, terrorists tried to change America forever. Well, they succeeded.
To all those who give birth to, homes to, or just give thought to people adopted as infants, thanks for considering adoption.
There's something you should know about me. I'm cold. I'm calculating. I get what I want. If you get in my way, I'll wreak havoc upon you. I can leave you weak, limp, twisted, confused. If you want to live to see tomorrow, you answer to me, and you answer quickly. I am a stroke.
Learn to recognize a stroke and act quickly. Time lost is brain lost.
I like to volunteer for the neighborhood emergency response team to help the firefighters. As you know, I was Fireman of the Year 3 times.
You're Mariano Rivera.
Thank you.
Fireman of the Year is a baseball award.
Yes.
You're not actually a fireman.
No.
Fireman of the Year, huh?
Just a few more minutes.
When you help your neighbors, you help your nation. Everyone can do something.
Visit us at usafreedomcorps.gov.
Today, a girl learned that wishes aren't just granted in fairy tales. Today, a girl who is sick saw something she'd never thought possible. The future.
Got me so crazy, baby. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. You're crazy, got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now.
That is Beyonce, fresh off her big Grammy night, helping us get in the swing for love in Valentine's Square, as we're calling it. More romance roulette, some strange marriage proposals to look at, and some surprises ahead. And we're going to be actually talking to Adam Sandler in a few moments about the new movie involving first dates. Remember your first date?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
I do. Every minute. Are you kidding? You know me. And Adam's brought a friend, a loving friend, matzo ball. Yeah. Let's see. There.
Matzo ball.
Yay, matzo ball. Anyway, we'll get a chance to sit down coming up. I'm Diane Sawyer. Good to have you back. And of course, also this morning, we're going to talk about dear Abby. And you mentioned earlier, she is suffering the ravages of Alzheimer's. So many Americans are. And at a Good Morning America exclusive, her son is going to be talking about his mother's battle against time.
But first, we're going to start with the white hot, I don't want to start to say White House, but the white hot controversy over the new TV movie that dramatizes the Laci Peterson murder. The movie has outraged Laci Peterson's mother. She calls it inaccurate, insensitive. She also fears it may taint potential jurors. And here's ABC's Taina Hernandez with a first look at this new movie.
1 year ago, Laci Peterson vanished.
The movie is entitled The Perfect Husband, starring Dean Cain as Scott Peterson. Their resemblance is striking.
Did you murder your wife?
No. That's just... And I had absolutely nothing to do with her disappearance.
The movie, which will air on USA Network Friday, follows the case from the night of Laci's disappearance to the day of her husband's arrest. During the film, viewers will see word-for-word reenactments of news conferences, like Laci's mother's heart-wrenching statement after her daughter's body was identified.
No parent should ever have to think about the way their child was murdered.
Most of the evidence mentioned in the movie is indeed accurate, but some details are misleading for dramatic effect. For example, it's unclear whether the most damning conversation between Peterson and his mistress Amber Fry in the movie really took place.
I swear I had nothing to do with it.
In real life, both Scott and Laci Peterson's families are against the film. When a fictional version of a case comes before the trial, it can be a problem. Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom prosecuted a high-profile dog mauling trial 2 years ago. On the eve of jury selection, the TV drama Law & Order ran an episode about the case. The next day,
we had to question the jurors to ask them if they had seen this case. And I remember standing there in the jury assembly room and seeing all the hands go up in the air.
Given the public's interest in the Peterson trial, the Peterson movie will likely attract many viewers, potential jurors included. Taina Hernandez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
So we're going to turn now to ABC News contributor Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, who you saw there in Taina's piece, whose famous dog mauling trial did become a Law and Order episode, and Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, who you may recall was portrayed by actor Ron Silver in Reversal of Fortune, which was based on one of Alan's high-profile trials. And Alan is joining us from where this morning? Boston, Alan?
Yeah, Watertown, Massachusetts.
Watertown, Massachusetts. All right. Alan, can a movie like this really affect a trial?
Oh, there's no question it can, particularly depending on how the actor plays the defendant. If he plays him guilty, subtle messages are communicated to potential jurors. If he plays him innocent, likewise subtle messages are portrayed. And these are the kinds of subtleties that it's hard to discern in questioning jurors. It kind of has an impact unconsciously on the way the juror potentially sees the rest of the evidence.
So presumably then it could also affect the verdict, but you'd really never know how.
And that's exactly right. On the other hand, we do have our First Amendment that gives the USA Network the absolute right to show the film, and delaying the trial is not going to help much because they're likely to show it over and over again, particularly on the eve of any trial.
Taina mentioned the fact that you prosecuted that dog mauling case out in California, and there was a Law and Order episode that aired the night before you went to jury selection.
Yes.
So what did you do about that?
Well, it's unbelievable because they had aired it once and they had this big story ripped from the headlines, dog mauling, and you just worry because you don't know how it's going to turn out, and you don't want it to be unfavorable, especially if you're the prosecutor and it comes back with a not guilty, it could taint the pool. The night before, we were watching TV and we saw that they re-aired it. So the next day when we had 400 people assembled to try and get a jury that hadn't heard about this case, and all the hands went up.
All of them?
Well, not all of them, but a lot. Too many for us. And we looked up, and there were all the hands up saying that they had seen this case.
Can you use that as a automatic disqualifier for a potential juror?
Well, you definitely have to question about it, because if it's given them a predisposition to vote one way or the other to the point where they can't evaluate the facts and evidence of this case, then they shouldn't be on the jury, because they need to evaluate it on the evidence you present and not what they saw on Law and Order the night before.
Alan, if you were trying a case like that, would you ask the judge to immediately disqualify everybody who had seen this show the night before?
No, because you may get yourself a skewed jury as well if you disqualify everyone who's seen anything about the case. I would worry about whether or not any evidence was presented in the movie rendition or the TV rendition that would not be admissible at the trial. And if not, you know, one would just then work with what you have. I mean, we live in a real world. In the real world, people are exposed to all kinds of media portrayals, and defense lawyers and prosecutors have to learn to operate within that world.
Kimberly Allen mentioned the fact that we have the First Amendment. I mean, there's this, you have the First Amendment, the free speech, and yet you have a right to a fair trial. Can you ask a network or whatever to postpone something like this?
You can make a request, but I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. You can't control them. For us, we really hoped that this case was not going to, we were going to get our case to trial before this episode aired, but no such luck. And then we were left with these images from this portrayal by Law and Order. They brought a dog into the courtroom with a cage, kind of a muzzle with a cage thing over its mouth in the thing. It was so crazy, and people kept saying to us, the jurors, are you going to bring a dog like that into the courtroom? People don't want to serve.
It is interesting when you look at Dean Cain, who plays Scott Peterson, and Scott Peterson side by side. It is amazing how much they look alike, and questionable whether juries might think that they're seeing the real thing when they see this movie. Alan Dershowitz, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, thank you as always. Time now for the weather. Let's go to Tony Perkins.
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. We want to turn our attention to the northern states where they've been having some rough weather. In Montana, this is the worst weather they've had in 50 years in some places. Snow, driving winds. Take a look at this videotape from North Dakota where the driving was tough yesterday. A snow emergency was declared in North Dakota yesterday as strong winds created blizzard conditions in places like Minot. Visibility was reduced to near zero at some points. Amtrak canceled train service for a while because of this. Now, take a look at the national map. On the national front, most of the action is in the east, where we will see some flooding rains in the southeast. Mid-Atlantic states will see some snow. That higher snow amount is really for the mountain areas. Meanwhile, eastern New Mexico, about 5 inches of snow. That snow tracking from the north to the south. That's a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood. This weather report has been brought to you by Home Depot. Charlie, back to you.
All right, thanks. When we come back, Adam Sandler is joining us with a guest that's very important to him. We'll be back. Stay with us.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's all the incentive you need this President's Day weekend to make it happen at home. Where you can get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any purchase, store-wide of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot or Expo credit card. Whether it's flooring, blinds, or name-brand appliances, the Home Depot has everything you need to make a long weekend a productive one. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
For straightaways, for curves, for impulses. The Lincoln Aviator. Travel well.
Chris Evert has faced many challenges and won. Now the challenge for Chris and millions of women is preventing osteoporosis.
So I take Citracal to help prevent bone loss.
Citracal, the power to help prevent bone loss.
So which one do you want?
The usual. We all know where your usual breakfast usually ends up.
Oh, you'll know too.
Eat something good. Nutri-Grain. Respect yourself in the morning.
America's top critics believe in miracles, and audiences do too. Miracle is the first absolutely must-see movie of the year.
This is something that this country is ready for.
Probably not. It's 2 thumbs up. Kurt Russell gives the performance of his career.
This is your time.
You'll stand up and cheer for this stunning achievement. It's the year's first great film.
What do you play for? USA!
Miracle, rated PG, now playing.
Baked on? Burnt on? Spray on Dawn Power Dissolver. Forget scrubbing. Forget soaking. Get Dawn Power Dissolver and get done.
Oh, not another cold sore. How long will it last this time?
Heal it with Abreva. It speeds healing like a prescription without one. It's the only non-prescription that's FDA approved. So you're you again faster. Abreva speeds healing like a prescription without one.
Did you know that every 3 seconds someone needs blood? Or that each year more than 4 million Americans need blood transfusions? And did you know that just one blood donation from you saves up to 3 lives? It's easy, and size, shape, and color don't make a difference to those who receive it. Become a blood donor. For more information, contact the American Association of Blood Banks to find out where you can donate and save lives.
It is quite a time for Adam Sandler. New movie, 50 First Dates. I'm getting licked.
Yes, I see
completely here. The movie with Drew Barrymore, we've been talking about it this week. It opens tomorrow. Since he was here last, he's been married. And it's great to have you here.
What's the matter?
Excuse us.
What's the
Anything
matter?
I did, anything I said? I think.
Take it easy.
I think he's saying, one wrong move with my guy. You're toast
very
here.
protected. Are you about to vomit for Diane? All right.
Well, it's kind of the best of times and in some ways the worst of times
Yes,
you've been through.
yes.
And we'll talk more about that later, but I want to talk about the film because it's 50 First Dates, and as we've said, it's about a girl who gets to choose her guy over again every single day.
That's
and you yourself, Mr. Sandler, are married with your shiny new ring now.
Oh yeah, this is great. And this is a great ring. My wife slid it on my finger, and it was the same ring that my grandma Anna slid on my grandpa.
Oh my
Phil.
goodness! And I heard you say last night that you thought it'd be chick bait.
Yeah, I thought that. Because they do say that girls are attracted to men who committed. But I got nothing. Nobody's that excited to see me. No
Not
ladies.
a single one. No. Well, in this film, we're going to show a clip because you wander in and you meet a guy who has a similar neurological issue, right?
He has it a little worse than Drew's character.
Okay, let's play a clip from 50 First Dates.
Right on.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our most distinguished clinical subject, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Henry.
Marlon. Doug.
Lucy. Hi. Oh, those are cool flip-flops. Where'd you get them?
You like those? It's an interesting story. I was over on the North Shore the other day. And
Hi, I'm Tom.
Huh? Henry.
Hi. Marlon. Tom lost part of his brain in a hunting accident. His memory only lasts 10 seconds.
I was in an accident? That's terrible.
Don't worry, you'll totally get over it in about 3 seconds.
Get over it? I mean, what happened? Did I get shot in the brain? Hi, I'm Tom.
See that?
Well, Drew says she loved this film because you do get to choose how you fall in love in a new way every day.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for that fella.
Very funny, but a very sweet center.
Yes, very sweet. Drew's quite sweet in it. I get away with it.
Yeah.
I just get by being sweet.
Gets away with it again.
Exactly.
Now, on your chest is...
Yes, Stan the Man, my father.
Your father.
Rockaway Beach. He was a lifeguard there for a while.
Now you lost him last fall.
Yes, he lung cancer. The man smoked, then he quit smoking like 10 years ago. and it got him anyways, the disease, and it was very rough thing. My mother keeps telling me, you better tell everybody not to smoke, so I walked down there, because my father suffered. It was the most horrendous thing to see, because we love him so much, and to see that guy go through what he went through was horrible. So my mother, when we're walking down the street, if someone's smoking, my mother, go up to him, tell him to stop smoking. So I get a lot of dirty looks from people. Just leave me alone, Adam.
You offered to move the wedding up for him, but
oh yeah, yes. Well, we were getting married, and then we found out I was shooting the movie in Hawaii, and got that bad phone call, and we were planning on getting married in June, and I don't know. I said, let's move the wedding up, make sure, and my father he said, no, don't move it now. I got something to live for, something to look forward to. So that night at the wedding was a great night. It was about getting married, but it was also about my father having a great night.
Well, last night in Letterman, as only Adam Sandler would do it, you being Adam Sandler.
I am the man.
You had a song, you said, which was designed to make your mother laugh, and we have a couple of clips from it about your dad.
That's nice. Good.
Stan the Man.
Thank you.
Oh, Dad, thanks for letting me stay up late to watch Johnny Carson. Thanks for swimming with me at Livingston Park. Thanks for telling me to always punch a kid in the face if he made an anti-Semitic remark. Oh, Stan the Man was my hero. He still is and always will be. 'Cause he didn't give too much a crap about nothing except loving his family. Oh, Sam, the man is gone.
That's nice. Thanks for doing that.
Stop smoking, everybody.
That's true. Yeah, it's bad news.
Great to have you, Adam.
Great to see you, Diane. You're the best.
The movie is 50 First Dates, and it opens nationwide tomorrow, and it's really funny.
Right,
February 13th is tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you on Valentine's Day, Diane.
Okay, we'll be back.
All right.
Chick bait with that ring,
Exactly.
see? I'll be your first chick got baited here.
Exactly. No, my wife's cool with it. She said so.
Okay. Bye.
Eat it.
Raise your hand, you got it. Raise your hand.
Sure Unscented. It's the #1 selling unscented antiperspirant. Get outstanding odor and wetness protection minus the heavy scent.
Raise your hand if you're sure.
This Sunday, it's Hackman versus Romano.
Yeah! Time to take your gloves off. Private meeting with the president.
The long shot.
Did you just get asked out by the president guy?
Yes, I think I did. Takes on the big shot.
Bringing the man's ex-wife into it. Come on! I know you're there!
We could eliminate him.
Are you insane?
Welcome to Mooseport.
You really actually like this guy? You knuckled my bone!
Rated PG-13. Special sneak preview Sunday.
When your child has asthma, it's always on your mind. There's a different kind of asthma controller. Singulair. It's not a steroid. It's a once-a-day chewable tablet that helps provide effective 24-hour control. And the same Singulair is also approved to help relieve a broad range of seasonal allergy symptoms. It's available for children as young as 2. Singulair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Your child should continue taking their other asthma medicines unless their doctor tells you to stop or change the dose. If asthma symptoms get worse, contact your child's doctor at once. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Ask your child's doctor about once-a-day Singulair, asthma control that can help you both breathe easier.
When I first met my girlfriend, I didn't know what to say or what to give her. Now, I've gotten better at both.
A diamond heart pendant from Kay means 2 things. Every diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Sensitive teeth, what do you do to avoid pain?
I de-ice my iced tea.
I microwave ice cream.
Stop the pain. Just change your toothpaste to dentist-recommended Sensodyne to build a barrier against pain.
It's easy.
Stop the pain. Change to Sensodyne.
ABC Friday, George's mom gets an indecent proposal from a younger man.
Eventually, he's going to get over this phase and go back to women.
New George Lopez. Then Seth Green is Tom's doctor with a strange love for Susan. New Married to the Kellys. And Kevin Sorbo tangles with Faith.
You have a really big mouth.
Here comes the sweet talk.
New Hope and Faith. Plus, Cupid comes early on Life with Bonnie.
You're so sweet and funny. I'm only going to get funnier.
All new TGIF, part of Valentine's Week on ABC. Then it's an all-new Jimmy Kimmel Live, ABC Late Night.
This Valentine's night, ABC brings you the ultimate fairy tale. Saturday on the Wonderful World of Disney, the story of a typical teenage girl.
This is as good as it's gonna get.
Who finds out she's a princess?
Shut up!
Finds her family.
Yeah.
And even finds love.
Me?
Oscar winner Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway. The network television premiere. The Princess Diaries on the Wonderful World of Disney. Saturday at a special time, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC.
Bloop, 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 bloop. So around the water cooler this morning, yesterday we did a segment on the broadcast about whether Janet Jackson and that thing went across the line. Did it go too far? And where is the line right now? And we asked you to weigh in, and we got thousands and thousands of emails, all of which I haven't looked at so far. But for instance, we asked you about one clip from Sex and the City. Did that clip go too far? And, well... here's the results. It went too far. I'll get rid of that. We can't show that. Make that go away. Thank you very much. And then we asked you about violence on television. And, for instance, we showed a clip from The Sopranos on the internet. And we asked, does that go too far? And, well, let's see the result. Oh, it goes too far. Get rid of that, please. Thank you. But those are cable shows. And then we asked you something like, we showed you a clip from Friends, which has a little innuendo in it. And, well, let's see that goes too far. Let's get rid of that. Actually, the overwhelming majority of the emails that we got said television just goes too far. All of these things. Lori from Gradner, Kansas. I think it's over the line when you cannot sit down and watch with your child or are too embarrassed to watch it with your mother. And then Nelson from Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Sex, and violence, it's all too much. No wonder children choose to make adult decisions and suffer because of it.
And what did amuse us is that you said we went too far in talking about how far it went. So we're going to be very careful and tame this morning.
Yep.
And behave.
That's it? Not going to say anything more? Going to be silent from now?
Oh, yeah, right.
We'll be back. Stay with us.
This Valentine's Day, this $4.99 2-carat diamond bracelet set in white gold is just $3.99. Now through Saturday. Quantities are limited at Zales, the diamond store.
Need a lift? We'll take your lashes up, up, and amazing. Almay Bright Eyes. Mascara with a revolutionary dual-action brush for 1, 2, triple the lift. Bright Eyes from Almay. Hypoallergenic.
Have a nice ride, Brad.
Hey, Dad. Can I borrow your car?
Suddenly, you have one more driver than you have cars. Now, your State Farm agent can help with information on auto loans and leases, as well as competitive rates on auto insurance. Talk to your agent today. We live where you live.
Why don't you take your mother's car?
This week's solution from Office Depot, technology. No interest and no payment for 6 months on computer purchases of $299 or more. Take advantage of this great deal and get a compact notebook computer for just $899.57. Office Depot, what you need to know.
I'm a big loser with big news about the Slim Fast plan. If you're watching carbs, now there's choices like chocolate peanut butter bars. Baby, your mouth is gonna go low carb crazy while you lose weight. Come on, if I can be a big loser, there's nothing stopping you.
For my tough allergy symptoms, I thought I always had to get a prescription.
Of all these prescription allergy brands, Claritin was chosen most, and only Claritin is available without a prescription. Same non-drowsy 24-hour relief. Only Claritin.
With Claritin, my runny nose, itchy eyes haven't bothered me all day, and I don't need a prescription. Claritin is the clear choice for me.
For non-drowsy 24-hour relief, try the one and only Claritin.
If you build it, he will come. And Sunday on an all-new AFE, Carpenter Ty Pennington is here. He's the man to call when home construction turns to destruction. Then at 8/7 Central, he's back. Come on out here! In the series premiere of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. While most people take years to get the home of their dreams, Ty and the crew will build one in 7 days, and you'll see it in 1 hour as another new deserving family
Our dad's in our
has their dreams come true. Extreme Makeover Home Edition premieres after AFB, all starting at 7/6 Central, ABC Sunday.
Monday at 8/7 Central, ABC's Oscar month is mammoth. They're bigger.
Is it Tyrannosaurus? I don't think so.
They're smarter.
They could talk to each other to a degree we never imagined. They actually set a trap.
And this time, they have one more terrifying surprise.
It's a bird cage.
They have wings. The network television premiere of Jurassic Park 3 on the ABC Monday Movie of the Week at 8/7 Central.
Good Morning America is brought to you by non-drowsy Claritin, available without a prescription.
Still ahead on Good Morning America, an exclusive interview with Dear Abby's son, the woman who spent a lifetime helping others fighting Alzheimer's.
And Emerald Lagasse is here with a sinful chocolate dessert. Stay with us.
Tonight, it's diamonds, baby. Diamonds. $100 million in ice. Gone. That's a whole lot of Valentines. Even Ocean's 11 couldn't have pulled this off. So who did? And where are the rocks now? Catch the biggest diamond heist ever on primetime tonight. Then, Monday, the interview everyone's talking about. Mel Gibson, a Diane Sawyer special.
Hello. Yes. Can I ask a few questions about the apartment on Park Street?
What was your name?
My name is Juan Hernandez.
It's been rented.
Oh, it's gone. Hello, my name is Sanjay Kumar. I am calling about the apartment on Park Street.
It's not available.
Not available? Hello, my name is Tyrone Washington. I'm calling about the apartment on Park Street.
Just been rented.
Hello, I am Chen Ling. My name is Khalid bin Ali. I'm Tuan Vo. Hello, my name is Moshe Goldberg. I use a wheelchair. It's gone. Not available. All right. Thank you. Yes, hello, my name is Graham Wellington. I'm calling about the apartment for rent on Park Street. Is that still available?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Really?
Housing discrimination is illegal. If you think you've been a victim because of your race, color, national origin, sex, religion, disability, or family status, call us. Fair housing. It's not an option. It's the law.
Ooh, child, hosting the Oscars is a trip. You walk out there and all those stars are there. Hey, y'all. That's what I like at the red carpet. Look at Julia with that big smile. Denzel looking so fine. Ooh. The whole world just stops because it's our show. So watch me, Mr. Billy Crystal, February 29th on ABC. Yeah.
If it's Oscar, expect the unexpected. Billy Crystal hosts the Oscars live ABC Sunday, February 29th, 8/7 Central, 5 Pacific.
Do that one, baby.
Welcome to Kingdom Hospital, a place medical science can't explain.
Kingdom Hospital is haunted.
One doctor must uncover the truth
You hear that?
I've got enough to blow this place sky high.
to save everyone inside.
Someone there? Little girl?
Diane Ladd,
I think that you're in real danger.
Andrew McCarthy.
How can we stop it?
At the Kingdom, it's the doctors who have something to fear. Stephen King's Kingdom Hospital premieres Wednesday, March 3rd on ABC.
through the magnetometer there. They cut short the magnetometer.
Come in, y'all. Door is open here at Good Morning America. It's great to have you back with us. I'm Diane Sawyer.
And I'm Charles Gibson, welcoming you on this Thursday, February 12th, 2004.
And ahead in this half hour, dear Abby, how much we all have read her in our lifetime. Now suffering the ravages of Alzheimer's. And in a Good Morning America exclusive, her son is going to talk about the disease, his mom, and her battle against time.
And Dr. Atkins, who we've talked so much about, is back in the headlines again. There's controversial allegations that the doctor was obese when he died last April. We will look into that, talk to one of his strongest defenders. And we're also going to look at the new Atkins food pyramid. Interesting how the Atkins food pyramid differs from the more traditional food pyramid. And they took that food pyramid to the White House yesterday, saying that this ought to be used as an alternative to the traditional pyramid. We'll talk about that this morning.
And since it's Love in Valentine's Square this week, Bachelorette Taranza, Alex Sandler, who's going to spin the wheel and see what happens.
And also Emeril Lagasse, excuse me, will be here a little bit later cooking up a very delectable Valentine's dessert. And indeed, Diane has already reserved 4 pieces for herself. But first, let's go to Robin Roberts at the News
You know me
Desk.
well.
Yes, he does, Charlie. All right, thanks, everyone. Good morning again, everyone. There is word from Iraq this morning that General John Abizaid, commander of U.S. forces in the Middle East, escaped injury in a gun battle in Fallujah. No U.S. soldiers and no one in Abizaid's party were injured in the fight at the local headquarters of an Iraqi security force. But earlier, 2 American soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb in Baghdad. A British Airways flight to the U.S. is facing its 9th delay or cancellation this year because of security concerns. BA's Flight 223 to Washington's Dulles Airport will not fly on Sunday, and Monday's BA Flight 263 from London to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is also canceled. Michael Jackson is reportedly broke and facing a cash crisis. The New York Times says the King of Pop owes the Bank of America $70 million and is another $200 million in debt on top of that. Jackson's advisors are trying to extend the bank loan, which is due on Tuesday. Jurors in the manslaughter trial of former basketball star Jason Williams returned to court on Tuesday after the President's Day holiday. Until then, they will carry with them graphic images of the night Williams' limo driver was shot to death. Here's ABC's David Muir.
Prosecutors in the Jason Williams manslaughter trial brought the violence of Gus Christoffy's death into the courtroom, showing jurors the gun that killed the limousine driver.
This appears to be the shotgun that was at the scene.
Photos of the crime scene, the victim's body, and even the bloody shirt Christoffy was wearing when he died. The evidence was so powerful, a woman sitting with Christoffy's family started sobbing. And the judge abruptly called a sidebar. Jason Williams is charged with reckless manslaughter and 7 other counts for accidentally shooting and killing Christoffy and then allegedly trying to cover it up. A key question, was Williams drunk the night of the accident? The state troopers who responded to the 911 call couldn't agree.
He did not appear to be intoxicated, according to your statement. Is that not true?
He did not appear to be intoxicated to me, no.
Did you smell anything when you were in the presence of the defendant?
Yes, sir.
What did you smell?
An odor of alcoholic beverage.
This discrepancy could help the defense if the state is unable to prove Williams was drunk at the time. That could also make it tough to prove this is a case of reckless manslaughter. David Muir, ABC News, New York.
A new report finds Americans are eating too much salt, mostly from processed foods, but there is good news. The Institute of Medicine says we're drinking more than enough water. They say all beverages, including those with caffeine, count toward the daily requirement. So maybe we don't need to carry all those water bottles around after all. That's the latest news at 8:04. The latest weather downstairs to Tony Perkins.
All right, thank you very much, Robin. Thank you, everybody. Happy to have you here. Here's what I want to do. Show you the satellite radar composite for the nation. I don't often do this, but there's a lot going on in the eastern U.S. I told you about the storms that we're seeing in some of the Gulf Coast states, and you can see some of those are pretty strong storms in portions of Alabama and in Georgia. Also, that snow to the north. Some of that snow, for example, in Virginia, not yet hitting the ground, but it will be before the morning is over. Also, you've got the precipitation in New Mexico. Now, take a look at the high temperatures for the nation for today. Yesterday in Seattle, battle. It was 61 degrees, just shy of a record today, still mild, 58 degrees. In fact, we're going to see above normal temperatures for the West Coast. Where will it be below normal? You can guess. Dallas, Albuquerque, highs in the 30s today. Florida will be beautiful today, highs in the 80s to near 90 in southern Florida. That's a look what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood. All right, thank you very much. One more look at weather is coming up shortly. Diane?
Thanks, Tony. In this morning's Dr. Tim on Call, an American icon and a devastating diagnosis. The icon is the woman we've all known as Dear Abby, her real name, Pauline Phillips. She has been suffering from Alzheimer's for several years. For the first time, her son spoke publicly about his mother's condition, an exclusive interview with Good Morning America's medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson.
I don't pretend to be an authority on journalism or on human relations.
Before the world knew her as Dear Abby, Pauline Phillips was a 37-year-old stay-at-home mom. She found fame in 1956 after reading the advice column in the San Francisco Chronicle and brazenly letting the editors know she could do better.
They gave her a bunch of letters thinking that they would never see her again, and she had answers back the same day that knocked them off their feet.
Using the pseudonym Abigail Van Buren, Phillips went from housewife to America's counselor. In a career that spanned more than 4 decades, she counted celebrities and presidents and royalty and even a pope among her millions of fans. Her column was syndicated in over 1,200 newspapers and read by 95 million people a day. Too baffled and ticked off, and all the millions of others who wrote in, she gave advice on every issue, from selfish in-laws to bedwetting to gun control.
We're talking about things today we never dreamed of talking about 25 years ago.
Never afraid to take on the serious issues, Dear Abby was one of the first to make the public aware of the private pain of Alzheimer's disease.
This letter from my mom's column appeared on October 23rd, 1980. Dear Abby, about 2 years ago, I began to notice a change in my husband. He became increasingly forgetful and easily confused, even though he was only 50. Have you ever heard of Alzheimer's disease? I feel so helpless. How do others cope with this affliction? Signed, Desperate in New York. Dear Desperate, you are not alone.
Some 15 years after that letter was printed, Pauline Phillips began showing signs of that same devastating disease. By the mid-90s, Pauline was already co-writing her column with daughter Jeannie. And as the illness progressed, that passing of the torch was made complete. She officially retired in 2002. Pauline has never been told of her Alzheimer's diagnosis. Her family and doctors felt hearing the words would be devastating emotionally. But a year and a half ago, a book by Nancy Reagan and an emotional phone call let her son Eddie know his mother understands.
She began reading to me, having not had that capacity for some time or that interest. And I'll share with you what she read. No one can really know what it's like unless they've traveled this path. Every day is different, and you get up, put one foot in front of the other, and go. And love, just love. I really believe that it was my mom telling me that she understood what her illness was and what she was facing.
As his mother slips further and further away, Eddie wanted to do something to honor her. A successful businessman in his own right, Eddie and a second anonymous donor have given an extraordinary $10 million grant to the Mayo Clinic. Dr. Ronald Peterson is the director of the new Abigail Van Buren Alzheimer's Disease Research Center.
We need to recruit a large group of normal elderly individuals who are living in Rochester, Minnesota, and follow them for the next 5, 10, 15 years to see what happens. From that, we'll learn not only who's going to develop Alzheimer's disease in the future, but we'll also derive a feeling for who lives successfully through aging.
And the ultimate goal is clearly to find both a cure and a prevention for Alzheimer's disease and wipe this devastating illness off the map of the world.
The purpose of life is to amount to something and to have it make some difference that you lived it all.
And Dr. Tim Johnson joins us now from Boston. Tim, you said it's so important to keep emotional connections. What do you mean? And tell us about Abby now.
Well, she lives in a suburb of Minneapolis with her husband of 64 years. She does require 24-hour-a-day care, but her son reports that she loves to watch TV. She loves to have visitors. She likes to go out and wear her Dear Abby sweatshirt. He says the memories obviously come and go, but they are able to connect with many memories that she can still relate to. And when they do, he says she laughs. She shows a lot of joy. So yes, even though it changes dramatically the living of every day, there are still many ways for many years that you can connect.
And those are important to remember in the middle of the pain of what you're dealing with.
Right.
Okay, Tim, thanks. And I want to tell everybody, for more information on Alzheimer's research at the Mayo Clinic, or if you want an address where you can send a letter of support, visit our website. And one of the things Eddie said is that his mom always smiles at monkey faces, because monkey faces were such a ritual in their family. So I just want to say, and he asked if we would. I'll see what I can do. That's for you, Abby. Coming up next, a Good Morning America exclusive, the Atkins Diet.
Good Morning America's Dr. Tim on Call is brought to you by CVS Pharmacy.
1, 2, 3. Hold it.
Honey, all you think about is money. Oh, baby.
With the CVS Extra Care Card, you earn extra bucks every time you shop. They're as good as cash at any CVS. Shopping the store that pays you back, now that's treating yourself well.
Experts are saying it's one of the worst flu seasons in recent memory, which is one of the best reasons to drink Florida orange juice. It provides essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin C that your body's immune system needs. Plus, your kids will want to take it. Florida orange juice.
To exfoliate your skin every day, would you use something hard or something that polishes gently? Dove's Creamy Exfoliating Body Wash with tiny beads and moisturizing lotion. Fresh skin daily.
This dog is suffering from allergies. His owner's allergies. Is the allergy medicine you're taking working for you? If not, you're not the only one who suffers. So ask your doctor about switching to Zyrtec. No other allergy medicine is approved to treat more indoor and outdoor allergies. Maybe that's why it's the #1 prescribed antihistamine by allergists and pediatricians. The most common side effect was drowsiness. Others included dry mouth and tiredness. Most were mild to moderate, but most people weren't bothered enough to stop taking it.
I'm sorry, Baxter. We can't stay long. Baxter? Baxter?
Zyrtec. That's Zyrtec. Take it for you. Take it for them.
Get a whiter smile tonight with new Rembrandt 2-Hour White. Most whitening in only 20 minutes. Even whiter in 2 hours. Not just white, Rembrandt White. And for maximum whitening, brush daily with Rembrandt Plus toothpaste.
We try to do a lot of things before we succeed. That's why we keep trying. Maybe all the times you tried to quit smoking before were just practice. Maybe you just needed the right help, like the Commit Stop Smoking lozenge. Commit is proven to help even those smokers who've tried to quit before. Commit works fast to help control cravings, and it keeps working even after the lozenge is gone. The 4 milligram Commit lozenge actually doubles your chances of quitting. The Commit lozenge. Real help, real hope.
Valentine's Day, just 2 days away, and all week we've been filled with love in Valentine's Square with our friends at love.com playing Romance Roulette. And we're going to wrap it up with a tribute to all this love tomorrow. But now it's time to meet today's contestant. Once again, Lara's at the wheel.
Thanks, Diane. We're hoping that Cupid sharpens his bow for Kimberly Gibbs of Providence, Rhode Island. She's a pastry chef and a divorced mother of 2 who's eager to get back into the dating game. Good morning.
Good morning. How
Now,
are you?
when you're not baking delicious treats, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I'm pretty athletic. I like to run and bike and swim.
Okay, sound good to you guys? All right, we have many eligible bachelors, among them doctors, lawyers, firefighters. What do you think? Can you fill the bill for lovely Ms. Gibbs?
Certainly can.
Do you like baked goods?
I have a sweet tooth.
All right, everybody. Adam Sandler is here. Adam, any advice for our bachelors? These guys are all looking for love. So is she.
I just want to tell you guys, good luck with my ex-wife. And we didn't make it, and I hope you guys figure it out.
Let's give it a spin.
Good luck, Malice. She's a good girl. Good luck.
Will it be a doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter, a podiatrist?
Could be.
Who's it gonna be?
Oh my
it's
God.
looking like a firefighter.
That's very
Things are getting hot.
All right, Ed.
Come on over here, Ed.
He's a stud.
Say hello to your date. So, Ed, what do you like to do on dates?
I love the city.
You love New York City.
City's good.
All right, and do you like sweet treats?
Absolutely.
She is quite a pastry chef. Emerald said she is masterful.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys are going on a top secret date. Our cameras will be following you.
Wow.
Tomorrow you come back and we want to hear all of the good stuff. I hope it's a love connection.
Do it, baby.
And guys, thank you so much for participating. We are looking for love in Times Square. Charlie,
Right on.
for now, back to you. And Adam Sandler, give it up.
Congratulations.
All right, thanks very much, Lara. Well, as you no doubt know, once again, Dr. Robert Atkins and his controversial diet are in the news, making headlines some allegations that the doctor was obese when he died last April. This comes as the new Atkins lifestyle food pyramid has just been presented to the Bush administration as an addition or an alternative to the traditional food pyramid that we all grew up with as part of the fight against obesity. To discuss both topics, Dr. Stuart Traeger is here. He's chairman of the Atkins Physicians Council, and he joins us this morning. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let me move quickly through these, through the new controversy that exists. The news, because medical records have been made public or have been leaked to the press, that he was severely overweight, 258 pounds, had a history of heart disease, hypertension.
Dr. Atkins in life was very honest about his medical health and the fact that he had cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathy in his case was not diet related at all. He made that point and he came very public, and he was on Larry King and talked about another event when his heart actually stopped, an episode of cardiac arrest. He's made it very clear that he never had a heart attack. And in these events, what's been perpetrated by a group of individuals with their own vegetarian agenda, stealing essentially medical records that had no business being made public, what they're trying to do here, I guess, is science has failed to validate vegetarian lifestyle. They've got to resort to this other anecdotal reporting. Dr. Atkins' health has nothing to do with
The
this
records
debate.
may have become public in a rather unseemly way, but was he 258 pounds when
He
died?
wasn't 258 pounds. We have hospital records earlier in the admission that show him at 195. His treating physician has said he's been between 180 and 200 over the last years of his life. We have videotape that we've made public that showed Dr. Atkins playing tennis. In the hospital, his own family and friends and his associates said he became unrecognizable as he was on life support maintained with intravenous fluids. He swelled so much his hands were 3 to 4 times normal, and he was just bloated with water.
But the New York City Medical Examiner, Dr. Michael Baden, has said, no way, that people just don't gain 60 pounds from fluids in a hospital, and if that were the case, it would be gross malpractice, and he's never seen it.
We're not suggesting there's been any malpractice for all intents and purposes. What we're saying, though, is that he became so swollen in the hospital that all we can say is that the weight at which he died at is not his actual weight. And for any physician who's seen patients in critical care units on life support to argue differently shows a real lack of understanding, or else the kind of alternative motives that this PCRM group has been reprimanded or censured, at least by the American Medical Association, for in the past. This is a group of people who will say and do anything to promote vegetarian lifestyle, and it's just another example of just putting out half of the facts, not the fact that Dr. Atkins was an active man whose heart was only pumping 1/3 as much as it was supposed to pump because of his cardiomyopathy.
I want to get to the food pyramid here that you took to the Bush White House yesterday. We've all seen the regular food pyramid, the traditional food pyramid. We all learned it in the 6th grade. How does the Atkins food pyramid, which is here, I guess, on the right, and the traditional one differ? I'm sorry, the one that Atkins is on the left and the traditional.
The problem is the traditional food pyramid hasn't worked. We've seen it for over 30 years. People haven't been able to maintain a healthy weight. Our obesity epidemic has dramatically increased. What we've done is we've taken Dr. Atkins' words in over 30 years, the message he's presented since 1972, and conceptualized it and graphically displayed it here, showing people that when you follow Atkins, it's not just about eating red meat. It's about all the smart carbohydrate choices that you can make, clearing up the misconceptions and some of the things that have been presented by changing the way people think about carbohydrates, raising carbohydrate awareness.
You don't suggest that this is the food pyramid. You're saying it's an alternative.
No, we need choices. The reason there's no one-size-fits-all diet, and that's why we've gotten into so much trouble, I think. By estimates, 30 million people are being successful following a controlled carbohydrate approach. It works for many people because counting carbohydrates is easier. What you notice about the pyramid is there are no servings. We don't tell people exactly how much to eat. They're able to make smarter choices and then eat until they're filled. The other thing that makes our pyramid very exciting, I think, is that we incorporate exercise. Everyone knows how important exercise is, and the reward for exercise should be something that's tangible. In this case, as you exercise and gain the health benefits of exercise from cardiovascular fitness, you can eat more.
What's the biggest difference? Is it the position of proteins and grains?
I think it's the emphasis on carbohydrate awareness, that when you follow a controlled carbohydrate approach, you make smarter carbohydrate choices. You don't do without, you do with different.
What did the health officials in Washington say about this?
I think they recognize that 30 million people are following this approach, and giving them more information, clearing up these misconceptions is very good. This is an approach that can help save lives.
Dr. Traeger, good to have you with us. An alternative food pyramid from the Atkins folks.
Bring something nice to the table. Your family. Prego. Share what's inside.
Detective Jessica Shepard is an expert on the criminal mind.
There's been another murder.
But her latest case, crime scene is clean. What do the victims have in common?
Just me.
Doesn't fit the familiar profile.
Somebody has been following me.
Is that why people keep dying around you? Because this time, all the clues point to her.
The last person I saw him with looked like you.
Ashley Judd, Samuel L. Jackson, Andy Garcia.
Did you kill these men?
Twisted. Rated R. Starts Friday, February 27th.
The crying, it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
A Valentine's Day gift from Kay means two things. Every diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
You're still crying.
I'm still happy.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Florida's natural premium orange juice is made just from our fresh oranges, not from concentrate. We own the land, the trees, and the company. Florida's natural. It's as close to the grove as you can get.
This is Model T20. He has cancer. This is Curious 901. She has cancer too. This is Malcolm W. His wife has cancer. This is the Cancer Survivors Network, a place where people can get together online to share information, get support, and get hope. This is the American Cancer Society. This is where to go for help.
You'll find tremendous savings all month long during Hancock Fabric's semi-annual home sale. Now through Monday, take 25% off all decorator fabrics, lamps, and accessories.
Hancock, your fabric store, and so much more.
Ford Expedition, the first to introduce all of the firsts. First-in-class safety canopy system, first-in-class independent rear suspension, first in its class for cargo room. And Ford Expedition is the first and only full-size SUV with the powerful third-row seat. Ford Expedition, the full-size SUV that's full of firsts. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Not long ago, Gary Doyle sat right here and got a range of auto insurance quotes. From a discount place to Allstate. This is a commercial. You could probably guess the outcome. Allstate had the best price for Gary. In fact, nearly 7 out of 10 drivers who switched to Allstate saved an average of $200 a year. Quality auto insurance should be affordable. That's Allstate's stand. Are you in good hands?
It's tough being a parent. You want to be involved in your kids' lives, but you don't want to intrude.
How did you do on that assignment?
Where are you going later? You want to be a parent, but not a pest.
Got those chores done?
So who is this boy? You want to be there if they need you, but how do you know when to step in? If you're a parent and you need help, call the Girls and Boys Town National Hotline. The call is free day or night. 1-800-448-3000 because you want to be a friend, but they need you to be a parent.
On September 11th, terrorists tried to change America forever. they succeeded.
Make no bones about it. The Good Morning America Doggone Lookalike Challenge is on. Do you or someone you know have a dog who looks just like Diane, Charlie, Robin, or Tony? Like they were separated at birth, same eyes, or hairdos? Then we want to see your picture-perfect match. Send us your photographs, and you could see yourself and your best friend live on Good Morning America. The Good Morning America Doggone Lookalike Challenge is on.
That's right, dogs are us. If you have a dog who looks like any of the four of us, we'd like to see your picture, and you can send it at the usual address, but take it down again here. Good Morning America, family tree of dogs here. Doggone Lookalike Contest, Ansonia Station, you know the rest.
234-068.
Go on the website.
Such a long
Nobody
post
can
office
write that
box
down.
It's
That's
on the
right.
website. You can find it there. Good Morning America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer. Good to have you back. And ahead this half hour, Oscar fever continues to rage here at Good Morning America. Counting down we are. And this morning, the girl who has dazzled us in Whale Rider. She is the youngest actress ever nominated for Best Actress, Keisha Castle-Hughes, and you'll have a chance to meet her.
And it is love in Valentine's Square, as we keep saying. We have another amazing wedding proposal caught on tape, and we'll show you that. And you're going to get a chance to vote for the wedding proposal you think is the most unique after we've shown you all of the finalists.
And Emerald Lagasse says his chocolate brownies are the perfect treat for melting a loved one's heart. We're in love. Worked for us. And buttermilk ice cream. Doesn't that sound good? But first, Robin Roberts got to do his best, Robin.
Oh, yeah, I'll be right downstairs. Thank you, Diane. Good morning again, everyone. There is word from Iraq this morning of a close call for the commander of U.S. Middle East forces. General John Abizaid was visiting the Fallujah headquarters of an Iraqi security force when a gun battle broke out. Abizaid and everyone in his party managed to escape injury. Massachusetts lawmakers are taking a third step today at saying "I do" to an amendment banning same-sex marriage. After hours of arguing yesterday, they shot down two compromise plans that would have allowed for civil unions while banning full-fledged marriages. An Arizona jury is expected to begin deliberations today in the deadly hit-and-run trial of a former Catholic Church leader. Bishop Thomas O'Brien faces 4 years in jail if convicted. On the witness stand, O'Brien claimed he thought he had hit a dog, not a man. United Airlines launches its national low-cost carrier, TED, this morning, with top fares at $600. The name TED comes from the last letters of United, and travelers will be hearing it quite a lot with references to TED sandwiches, TED Vision, and TED Tunes. Golfers come in all shapes and sizes. There's a joke there somewhere. But a Palm Beach duffer takes the cake. A 600 to 800-pound manatee made its way to the pond at the Lost Tree Golf Course. Wildfire officials were called for a rescue and release into a nearby waterway. That's the latest news. 8:33 downstairs to Tony Perkins now.
Several days of animals coming up on land and interacting with humans in strange ways. Speaking of that, no, it makes no sense whatsoever.
You're talking about me.
I'm sorry. This is Steve Irvin, who is the morning anchor at KNXV ABC 15 in Phoenix. How are you, sir?
Very good.
Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us this morning.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Good to see you're inside, not outside. They're normally sticking you out there in the cold. You got to come down to Phoenix, though.
I would love to come to Phoenix.
There.
I always tell my producers, you send me out in the bad weather, send me someplace where it's nice and it's warm, although it's going to be cooler today in Phoenix. Yeah, in the 60s, usually would be in the 70s.
63, it's freezing.
We have no sympathy for you whatsoever. Let's take a look at the map and show you how things are going, not just in Phoenix, but around the rest of the country as well. Binghamton, New York, a high today of 33 degrees. Durham is going to see a high of only 30. You want to see some cool or cold temperatures. San Antonio, 51 below normal. There's Phoenix, 63. Your normal high would be 71. You knew that, didn't you?
Of course.
Yes, of course. And in Yakima, 49 is what we're looking at. We're going to see some precipitation here and there. Now, look at tomorrow's map. Here's a problem we're going to see tomorrow. Continuing rain along the Gulf Coast. Some of this rain, in fact, will be heavy, which will lead to a continued threat of flooding down there. After several dry days, we're going to see rain and precipitation return to the central and northern west coast of the United States. Again, that is on tomorrow. Thank you, Steve, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. That is a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood. And thank you very much. This weather report has been brought to you by Allstate. If you want to be in our studio audience when you're in New York, send an email to abcnews.com. Charlie and Diane?
Steve, how hard is it to do forecasts in Phoenix? I mean, it's either warm or it's hot.
Yeah,
That's
there's
it.
two forecasts. In the wintertime, it's sunny and nice, and in the summertime, it's sunny and get the heck out of here.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Well, anchoring, though, in Phoenix is a good job. Anyway, we appreciate your being here. As part of our Love and Valentine's Square Week, we've been showing you some of the most remarkable and romantic wedding proposals caught on tape. And we have another one for you this morning. This is a couple from New Jersey who we like to call the Cookie Monster couple.
How you doing? My name's Jim Morano.
And I'm Jessica Morano.
We're from Union, New Jersey.
And we met while I was waitressing in college.
And I was her manager, and I thought she was the most adorable thing.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
We had a wonderful relationship, but the most romantic moment was when Jimmy came and proposed to me.
Is that the Cookie Monster?
Elizabeth, would you just sit down for now, sweetie?
I love the kids getting it and getting it and getting it, don't you?
So now you've seen Monday through today the four couples with their unique wedding proposals, and they really are all very sweet. You can go to our website, abcnews.com, and you can actually see all four of them there. And starting this morning, in just about 20 minutes, you can vote on which couple you think had the most romantic, the one that's probably best for telling the grandchildren about. All four couples will be with us tomorrow, and we'll have some Valentine's Day surprises for the winning couple. Diane?
We're going to turn now because, again, we've said that it's Oscar fever around here, counting down, and we've been talking to the nominees as we get closer to the big night. And this morning, an exclusive interview with New Zealand teenager Keisha Castle Hughes, who has the most unlikely of nominations of all. She got a part in a movie, and not just a part, but the lead, and not just the lead, but her Oscar nomination for, are you ready? Her first time acting, and David Wright has the report.
The Academy Award nominee class of 2004, all of them now Hollywood A-listers, familiar faces, except for one.
It's kind of strange. It's really crazy.
Keisha Castle Hughes is star of a small New Zealand film called Whale Rider. The story of a young woman's struggle to become the first female chief of her Maori tribe. Keisha's very first movie role.
Is that why he's so hard on you?
Had you ever acted before this?
No.
Not so much as a school play.
I'd never even done a school play.
Keisha Castle Hughes. The Academy has recognized young actors before. 6-year-old Shirley Temple won in a category created just for her. Tatum O'Neal was 10 when she took home Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon. But Keisha Castle Hughes, at 13, is up for the big prize, Best Actress, the youngest nominee ever. Where were you when you heard that you got nominated?
I was in bed because it was 3 o'clock in New Zealand in the morning. And then my mum, she came in and then she was like, Keisha, guess what? You just got nominated for Best Actress. I told her to get out of my room and just wait till the morning.
And you went back to sleep?
And then I went back to sleep.
When she woke up, it all seemed like a dream come true. Suddenly, she's presenting awards and hobnobbing with her favorite celebrities.
You're so lovely. I'm really excited about meeting, Johnny Depp. I mean, every girl would be excited if they had the chance to meet Johnny Depp.
She is the ultimate ingenue, and while Keisha lives the Hollywood dream, Her friends back home make sure the hype doesn't go to her head.
Sometimes when I'm in like magazines that we read all the time, I'm like, you'll never believe it. They're like, so we just won't buy it.
Make no mistake, Keisha Castle-Hughes is the real thing. Her performance in Whale Rider won critical acclaim. 10,000 girls auditioned for the part. But Keisha had to tell the casting director a very small white lie to get it.
She asked me if I could swim, and I couldn't. And then she just like was staring at me, and I was like, yes, of course I can.
Of course she couldn't, but she got the job anyway. The producers hired a body double to do most of the swimming.
It's amazing to be a part of your child's dream.
Keisha and her mother are still a bit overwhelmed by the whole Oscar thing and the fact that people do recognize her on Rodeo Drive.
Mama, pink dress!
They don't even know what they'll wear to the ceremony.
So on Oscar night, you're going to face that red carpet, crowded with photographers, crowded with people asking you questions. Are you nervous?
I'm really nervous, especially when you say it like that.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to prepare you. Who's your date?
My mum. My mum's my date.
Do you write out an acceptance speech?
Well, I haven't, and I'm not planning on doing so. There's only really one person I want to thank, and that's my mum.
And even if she doesn't win, she still has plenty to be thankful for. David Wright, ABC News, Hollywood.
And she'll probably be sitting next to Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp? Yeah. Get out of bed. How does she do this? Anyway, she asked us to thank Frederick Fekkai for her hair and makeup. So she's already got the star thank you thing. And we're going to find out if she takes home an Oscar on Sunday, February 29th, the Academy Awards on ABC. Emerald's here. Next, a special Valentine's treat.
Go to OperationGraduation.com.
America's military depends on the strength and sacrifices of the men and women of the reserves and the National Guard. And these reservists and guardsmen rely on the support of their employers. Please contact the employer support of the Guard and Reserve today to find out how you can help the citizen soldiers who help guarantee America's freedom.
Call 1-800-336-4590 or visit ESGR.com.
I like to volunteer for the Neighborhood Emergency Response Team to help the firefighters. As you know, I was Fireman of the Year 3 times.
You're Mariano Rivera.
Thank you.
Fireman of the Year is a baseball award.
Yes.
You're not actually a fireman.
No.
Fireman of the Year, huh?
Just a few more minutes.
When you help your neighbors, you help your nation. Everyone can do something.
Visit us at usafreedomcorps.gov.
Today, a girl learned that wishes aren't just granted in fairy tales. Today, a girl who is sick saw something she'd never thought possible. The future.
Some things only get better. Super Millionaire, ABC, February 22nd.
In December, we helped one family get the home of their dreams. And ABC Sunday, we're at it again for a whole new deserving family.
Our dad's in Iraq.
Making more dreams come true. Whoa! Extreme Makeover Home Edition, now every week, premiering ABC Sunday, 8/7 Central.
Ooh, child, hosting the Oscars is a trip. You walk out there and all those stars are there. Hey, y'all!
Billy Crystal hosts the Oscars live February 29th at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Tonight, it's diamonds, baby. Diamonds. $100 million in ice. Gone. That's a whole lot of Valentines. Even Ocean's 11 couldn't have pulled this off. So who did? And where are the rocks now? Catch the biggest diamond heist ever on primetime tonight. Then Monday, the interview everyone's talking about. Mel Gibson, a Diane Sawyer special.
All right, Valentine's Day coming up, February 14th. There are a couple of theories about really what's behind Valentine's Day. Some people think it's the time to express affection to those that you love. And there are some who think it's just a day to eat chocolate. Now, Emeril Lagasse is here. He's going to whip up some chocolate brownie cake topped with chocolate buttermilk frosting. Yeah. There are audible moans coming from the audience. Low, guttural moans coming out of their mouth. So,
hey, Charlie, how you doing?
This is decadent?
It's decadent. I mean, everybody loves brownies, so why not put it in the cake? Right? So here we go.
You can't have too much of a good thing.
No.
Okay.
No. And then we have also a cheesecake that I'm going to show you, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just to top it off.
Just to top it off.
Two
in
recipes.
case you just want to go right.
Two recipes in one. All right, let's start with the cake.
We use a classical technique, Charlie, which is called creaming, where you soft butter with sugar, and we beat that until it's pale. That's where we are right now.
That's all it is butter and sugar?
Yep.
Okay.
To that point now, we then add the eggs.
2 of them.
2 eggs. And then
butter, sugar, and eggs. Yep. This is starting out well.
Oh, real good. Oh, real good. Then what we're going to do, if you don't mind holding that,
yeah, delighted.
We're going to sift and aerate flour, baking soda, and cocoa. And we're going to sift that to aerate it, as well as, look at that. See all the lumps right there? Mm-hmm. That's why you want to sift things. All of those little lumps like that. All right, now, what we're going to do now, Charlie, lower that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I can do the beating, but I can't stop it.
All right, now what we're going to do is add the dry ingredients in here.
Oh.
And I lowered it because I didn't want to ruin your soup.
That's okay.
All right. And now, once the dry ingredients start working in here, we're going to add a little bit of buttermilk to this.
This is all the good things wrapped up in one. Is what
you have that again?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
sure.
all right. And then keep it down. And then vanilla and sour cream. All right. Now, here's what happens. Incorporate this. It's going to make a really, really moist, thick dough, which looks just like this.
Okay.
You want to take some cake pans, 8-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch. I buttered and floured it, but I also used some parchment on the bottom, which makes it come out easier. Yeah. Divide the dough in half. Have the oven on at 350 degrees, and we're going to bake this for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now, it makes 2 cakes, and that's what we have here.
One for me, one for Diane.
Exactly. Now, using milk, vanilla, confectionery sugar, cocoa, a little cream cheese and butter, all of that combined in a mixer makes an icing. That's what this icing is right here. It's a cream cheese chocolate icing. Now, what we're going to do is take one layer, and we're going to take the icing, Charlie, just let it sort of droop over.
Icing on a stick.
We're going to take a second layer, and then this is the fun part.
Yeah.
Icing.
Yeah.
Icing. And more icing. And you just sort of ice it all the way around and on the sides. All right, so I think you get the point.
Not going to be any thin spots.
No. We're making our own pyramid right now. Cut a nice wedge. This is what it looks like when it's done. You see, it's brownie, and a little bit more brownie.
Thank
Diane.
Thought you'd never ask.
Robin.
Oh,
and thank you.
Please.
Okay.
Quickly. Now, here's another recipe. This is a black and white spiral cheesecake that we also did with fresh berries, also for Valentine's Day, if you don't want to go as dense as the brownie cake.
We'll go dense.
Oh, boy.
This is so good.
That combination,
Isn't that great?
who would have thought that it'd have so many tastes?
Everybody loves
really
brownies.
light,
It's a
but
perfect cake for Valentine's Day.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't you say, Charlie?
Any day.
My mouth's too full. I can't say anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is not, it's not outrageously sweet.
No, it's not.
Which is great.
The recipe is on abcnews.com.
Thank you. Now for the cheesecake, you put a little whipped cream like that on it. Oh, then perfect.
Cooking with Emerald is brought to you by Prego. Bring something nice to the table. Your family.
Did you know that every 3 seconds someone needs blood? Or that each year more than 4 million Americans need blood transfusions? And did you know that just one blood donation from you saves up to 3 lives? It's easy, and size, shape, and color don't make a difference to those who receive it. Become a blood donor. For more information, contact the American Association of Blood Banks to find out where you can donate and save lives.
My name is Jane Fonda. When violence against women and girls ends, I'll be able to talk to my men friends the way I talk to my women friends.
V-Day works to end violence against women and girls in the U.S. and around the world.
Let V-Day become V-World. V-Day until the violence stops.
Nobody likes me. Nobody. Maybe it's because I like to attack people. Men, women, kids. I can reduce them to weak, stammering, confused, scared imitations of their former selves. If they don't stop me, I just might leave them that way for life. I am a stroke.
Learn to recognize a stroke and act quickly. Time lost is brain lost.
On September 11th, terrorists tried to change America forever. Well, they succeeded.
Tonight, why is the government giving contracts to companies that owe billions in back taxes? Plus, the passion, the grassroots push to promote the controversial movie. Watch World News Tonight.
For those of you who are wondering about the answer to the question, can you eat a full piece of cake in one commercial break? The answer is absolutely. And you can eat a little fruit along with it, but basically that's superfluous. We just saw a survey that we wanted to tell you about. This comes conducted by the survey based on Census Bureau data, cost of living figures, and ratios of unattached men to women. Where are the 5 best cities to find a rich single man?
Yeah.
I don't really care about this, but I suspect some people do. Number 5, Naples, Florida. Aren't they all over 80? I shouldn't say that. Number 4, Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Why? What's going on there?
I don't know. Number 3, Washington, Baltimore.
Okay.
Number 2, Anchorage, Alaska. And number 1, the San Francisco Bay Area.
There you go.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm more interested in the cake. We'll be right back. See you tomorrow.
ABC Friday, George's mom gets an indecent proposal from a younger man.
Eventually, he's going to get over this phase and go back to women.
New George Lopez. Then Seth Green is Tom's doctor with a strange love for Susan. New Married to the Kellys. And Kevin Sorbo tangles with Faith.
You have a really big mouth.
Here comes the sweet talk.
New Hope and Faith. Plus, Cupid comes early on Life with Bonnie.
You're so sweet and funny. I'm only gonna get funnier.
All new TGIF, part of Valentine's Week on ABC. Then it's an all-new Jimmy Kimmel Live, ABC Late Night. Valentine's night, we're delivering laughs for the whole family. With Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and the whole Peanuts gang in a Charlie Brown Valentine.
Good grief!
Then, it's the ultimate fairy tale. The story of a typical teenage girl who finds out she's a princess.
Shut up!
Oscar winner Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway in the network television premiere of The Princess Diaries on the wonderful world of Disney. Right after a Charlie Brown Valentine, starting at 8/7 Central, ABC Valentine's Saturday.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please help give them a time to remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put that out.
From the man that brought you The Stand, Carrie and the Green Mile, comes a world premiere television event.
Inside this skull is the biggest, scariest haunted house of them all.
Welcome to Kingdom Hospital, a place medical science can't explain.
Kingdom Hospital is haunted.
Cool. Yes, it is.
Stephen King's Kingdom Hospital, ABC Wednesday, March 3rd, 9/8 Central.
There are lots of vacancies.
Read the book, then watch the premiere, The Journals of Eleanor Drews, now available wherever books are sold.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Ford. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
50 First Date star Rob Schneider. Plus, from the hit movie Barbershop 2 Back in Business, Eve is letting her hair down with the ladies. Today, live on The View.
She's always been the butt of all jokes.
I need some junk in the trunk.
ABC tonight, an extreme makeover first, as plastic surgeons give her the new Brazilian butt lift. Then, her lips have this bartender's love life on the rocks. But will her new look be intoxicating? An all-new extreme makeover after a special episode starting 8/7 Central, ABC tonight.
Today, a girl learned that wishes aren't just granted in fairy tales. Today, a girl who is sick saw something she'd never thought possible. The future.
Walk a straight line, that's ridiculous.
We know how hard it is to admit that you've got a problem, that things sometimes seem to be spinning out of control.
How many beers have you had already?
I had, what, a half a beer?
We know how no one seems to understand what it's like, especially family. We know how we sometimes hurt the people we love without realizing it at the time. We know because we've been there. We're Alcoholics Anonymous. If your drinking is affecting your life and family, look us up. We're in the phone book and on the web. We're here to help because we know what it's like.
bump up didn't go through the magnetometer there. They cut short the magnetometer.
And there you go. The door is open here at Good Morning America. It's great to have you back with us. I'm Diane Sawyer.
And I'm Charles Gibson, welcoming you on this Thursday, February 12th, 2004.
And ahead in this half hour, dear Abby, how much we all have read her in our lifetime. Now suffering the ravages of Alzheimer's. And in a Good Morning America exclusive, her son is going to talk about the disease, his mom, and her battle against time.
And Dr. Atkins, who we've talked so much about, is back in the headlines again. There's controversial allegations that the doctor was obese when he died last April. We will look into that, talk to one of his strongest defenders. And we're also going to look at the new Atkins food pyramid. Interesting how the Atkins food pyramid differs from the more traditional food pyramid. And they took that food pyramid to the White House yesterday, saying that this ought to be used as an alternative to the traditional pyramid. Again, we'll talk about that this morning.
And since it's Love in Valentine's Square, this week our bachelorette manager then Adam Sandler, who's going to spin the wheel and see what happens.
And also Emeril Lagasse, excuse me, will be here a little bit later cooking up a very delectable Valentine's dessert. And indeed, Diane has already reserved 4 pieces for herself. But first, let's go to Robin Roberts at the News Desk.
You know me well.
Yes, he does, Charlie. All right, thanks, everyone. Good morning again, everyone. There is word from Iraq this morning that General John Abizaid, commander of U.S. forces in the Middle East, escaped injury in a gun battle in Fallujah. No U.S. soldiers and no one in Abizaid's party were injured in the fight at the local headquarters of an Iraqi security force. But earlier, 2 American soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb in Baghdad. A British Airways flight to the U.S. is facing its 9th delay or cancellation this year because of security concerns. BA's Flight 223 to Washington's Dulles Airport will not fly on Sunday, and Monday's BA Flight 263 from London to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is also canceled. Michael Jackson is reportedly broke and facing a cash crisis. The New York